Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Delilah if you are new here. I'm not gonna lie, I actually had a completely different video planned. Hi! Annie is down here with me, so you might hear her. I had a completely different video planned for this week, but my husband is actually out of town right now. As a mom of 4 kiddos, the oldest being 6, the youngest being 6 months, our days are filled with homeschool and cooking and cleaning, and I'm a working mom. I'm still working on top of all of this, so our home is beautifully chaotic right now. And with my husband being gone, I've been pulling all these little tricks out of my hat to help keep things running smoothly. As I was preparing myself for this week, I thought, you know what, this is actually really useful information for the mamas who watch my channel, and I want to share that with you today. You've probably heard me talk about all of these things over the years, whether in a vlog or some other video or on Instagram. Lots of these I've been doing for many years. I'm continually learning new tricks that have helped save me so much time and have helped our household run so much more smoothly. So today I'm going to share with you 10 very practical hacks that you can apply to your life, and even if you're not a mom or you don't have kids, you can still apply a lot of these hacks into your own life just to help keep things running smoothly. I've been getting a lot of questions on Instagram this week about how I've been doing it. So with that being said, let's get into it. Tip number 1 is do a load of laundry every single day. Even if it's a really small load of laundry, get it done and do it. When I first became a mom, laundry was one of those things that I just dreaded. I procrastinated it. I only did it like maybe once or twice a week, and it ended up just piling up so high, and I always just had these mountains of laundry around me. And it was because I had these mountains of laundry that I procrastinated even more, and it was just this vicious cycle. And once I realized that if I just start doing a little bit every single day, it's so much easier to keep up with the laundry, and it makes it a lot less daunting. It's not a difficult task for me to do anymore. I've worked it into my routine in such a way that it's just very easy to do. Like, I don't even think about it in the morning. The first thing I do when I get up and I get ready is I throw in a load of laundry. It's just routine. And because I've made it so much a part of my routine, it's very easy for me to do. And then that way the laundry doesn't pile up. I'm able to very easily stay on top of a task that used to take me a lot of time. Tip number 2 is wake up early. Now, I know you've heard me say this so many times, and I know it's not totally practical for everyone. Not everyone is a morning person. Not everyone is in a stage of life where they're capable of doing this. In fact, I'm just now coming out of a stage of life where I wasn't waking up early. Very slowly, I'm getting back into waking up early again, and I did not realize how much I heavily relied on this time in the morning alone to set the entire tone for the day. I am able to get so much done in that early morning, and because I'm just like awake and ready and prepared, I am able to tackle the day so much better than when I just kind of roll out of bed and try to get things going. It doesn't even have to be a lot of time. Like right now, I'm not waking up really early in the morning. I used to wake up at 5 a.m. and it was great. I could do all the things I needed to do and be super prepared for the day. We're not at that stage yet, so I'm waking up just a little bit earlier, and I have to kind of pick and choose what's most important that morning for me to do to really set the tone for my day. A lot of the time it looks like clearing the dishwasher or setting the table or getting breakfast started. Sometimes it looks like sitting and reading my Bible. Sometimes it looks like getting school out and ready to go. Sometimes I've got other odds and ends and tasks that need to be tended to, and so whatever I'm doing that morning, it's just so helpful to have that done and ready for when the kids wake up. But the biggest thing is just being awake and being ready and being prepared to greet my family for the day. It just makes such a huge difference. Like I said, I know it's not practical for everyone to wake up early in the morning. For the last 6 months, like since she was born up until now, I have not been waking up early. Because of that, I've learned a new hack, and that is set things out the night before. Sometimes I go all out and I will set the table, and I'll like set things out for breakfast, and I'll go the extra mile to really just set things out and have things prepared. But most of the time it's pretty simple. It's mostly a matter of like setting out our vitamins so I can easily mix it the next morning, picking out my clothes for the next day. Sometimes I start my load of laundry in the evening so that in the morning that's just one less thing that I have to do. Sometimes, especially when we need to leave the house early, I will set out the kids' clothes and have that ready to go. You know, just less decisions for me in the morning, or less tasks that I have to tend to, helps tremendously, especially when I just rolled out of bed. Even setting things out so that your older kids can help you is huge. Hack number 4 is repack the diaper bag as soon as you come home instead of packing it right before you leave. Leaving the house with 4 kids in wintertime takes quite a lot of effort for me. One less thing that I have to do before I leave the house makes all the difference. I mean, if you're a mom, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Leaving the house can take so much time and it feels like so much effort. So if you can make it simpler for yourself, just do it. Repack that diaper bag, add some extra diapers, add some extra snacks, take out the garbage, and have it ready to go so that you can just grab it and go whenever you need. This next hack is probably my favorite, and it's one that my own mother taught me, and that is to cook in double batches. No matter what I'm making, I am almost 100% of the time cooking in a double batch, or I'm making more than we need. When I make supper, I make extra so that the next day for lunch, we're having leftovers, and that means one less meal that I have to cook during the day. That saves me so much time. Whenever I'm baking, I'll make a double batch and I'll freeze half of it, so that way whenever company comes over, we've got something to pull out of the freezer, or whenever we just want a little treat, we have something to pull out of the freezer. When I'm making bread, I'll make a double batch, and again, I'll freeze it so that we always have bread on hand. I've been able to pull out waffles twice for breakfast, and I was able to get breakfast on the table within minutes. I also had some tomato soup sitting in the freezer, so I didn't even have to cook supper yesterday. I just pulled it out of the freezer, threw it in a pot, and made some grilled cheese, and there we go, we had supper. It saves me so much time, and this is my favorite thing to do, because when I'm in the kitchen and I'm cooking, it doesn't take a whole lot of extra effort to just throw in 2 cups of flour instead of 1, you know, or just scoop a few extra cookies while I'm already scooping cookies. This is just such a great mentality to have in general, like to cook a really large supper, larger than what your family needs. You have extra so that you can invite someone over, or you can give some to a neighbor or a mom friend that you know who's just kind of struggling right now. Always cook in double batches. Next up is make a meal plan. This is something I did not do when we first got married, or even when we were first parents, I don't think. It's something that I started doing a few years back, and I don't know why I ever tried to cook for my family without first making a meal plan. I'll do this usually every Saturday or every Sunday. That way I've got meals planned for the next week. So then Monday we go grocery shopping, we get everything we need to make those meals, and then throughout the week I don't have to worry about it. I've got it all planned, I've got it all laid out. I don't have to think, well, what are we gonna have for supper, because I can just reach into my fridge and grab what we need and make my food. Next is rotations. If you have children, do rotations, toy rotations, book rotations. Rotate things out because this keeps things fresh and interesting for them. Less toys in the playroom, less books to look at, less things at a time makes it a lot less overwhelming for them, and they're able to more easily play with what they have. At the beginning of the week, I did a toy rotation, and whenever we have a fresh rotation, they just play like crazy. And so for the last couple of days, with Zach being gone, I haven't had to really work at entertaining them, or I haven't had to worry about that. They haven't been bored because they've been playing so much and having so much fun with all the new toys in their rotation. Just recently, we started doing this with books as well, and they've been reading more books because now we're rotating them out. We do this with toys and books that are in the van. We do this with pretty much everything, and it is fantastic. The next hack is 10-minute tidy up. So this is something I find myself doing more and more frequently, and this is really how I'm able to stay on top of housekeeping with a house full of kids. Of course, they are required to do their own cleaning and they have their own chores. I find myself especially doing this when I'm transitioning from one task to the next. Like after we're done a meal, I'm cleaning the kitchen. After we are done homeschool, I'm tidying up homeschool. After we have lunch and we kind of transition from that school time, family time to quiet time, I find myself doing a tidy up around the home so that I can clear my brain. Like cleaning my home helps clear my brain so I can move on to the next task. The house can very, very easily get out of hand when I'm not doing these throughout the day, so these 10-minute tidy ups are really what keep our home functioning well. The 9th hack is close your kitchen. This is something I learned from Elena years and years ago, and it's something that I've really clung to and continued to do all this time because I've seen the difference that it made. I used to be that person who would procrastinate washing my dishes for days and days, and they would just pile up and sit in my kitchen. It made me not want to be in my kitchen. It made me not want to cook. It was a burden. So we started cleaning our kitchen every single night, and we started seeing the benefits of it, and it very quickly became a habit, and now it's something that we've been doing for years years and years. The other day, Zach and I were cleaning the kitchen after supper, and I just looked at him and I was like, how on earth did we ever not do this? It's not that we never cleaned our kitchen, but we always left dishes out. We always had dishes on the counter. I didn't always wipe the counters down, you know, like it was always kind of a mess. Because we spend so much time in our kitchen and dining area now, we actually do this after every single meal. We clean up the kitchen completely. We just spend a lot of time here. It's kind of the heart of the home. And then especially at night before we go to bed, we make sure everything is done. The garbage is taken out, recycling's taken out, counters totally wiped down, dishes completely clean. It is so nice to wake up the next morning with a clean kitchen. Hack number 10 is create a daily rhythm. It doesn't have to be a specific routine that you do every single day. In fact, I don't run very well on like a very strict routine. There are stages of my life where I like to be very loose with our rhythm, and then there are stages of our life where I feel that we greatly benefit from a more structured routine. I find that the household just flows more smoothly when everybody kind of knows what to expect. Like my kids know that when they wake up, we're gonna have breakfast, and then they need to get themselves dressed for the day, and the kitchen's gonna be clean, and then we're gonna start homeschool. And then they know that after school is lunch, and then after lunch is quiet time, after quiet time is cleanup time, and then supper time. Like they kind of know this rhythm that we go through every day. I find it's really helpful for my kids to know what to expect, and then it's also really good for me if I know that I'm gonna have the afternoon to do my work, then I don't have to think about it during the morning. Or if I know that the morning is dedicated to homeschool, I can put all of myself into homeschool and I don't have to think about anything else until after that. So essentially, if you were to summarize all of these hacks into one big hack, it would be always try and be one step ahead so that you are prepared for whatever comes your way. Now, of course, there are things that are unexpected and unpredicted that are going to happen, but if you are prepared and you kind of have an idea of what's going to happen, and you've got, you know, food ready, or you've got a meal plan, or you've got the diaper bag packed, you'll be a lot more capable of handling whatever comes your way. And that concludes today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have anything to add to this list of hacks, please do. I'm always open to hearing how other moms manage their time or do things with their kids in ways that work well for them. Anyway, I gotta put little miss down for a nap, so that concludes today's video. Okay, bye.